Greetings, STSC scholars. This is Professor Lopez again. I wanted to do one really quick video because I did have several people that were absent on the first day. Like they had a couple family emergencies and different things like that that popped up over the holiday weekend. And I wanted to take 2 seconds to make sure you guys remember how to log in to access your account and where to find all of our material. So let's get to it. So those of you guys that were not in class or had to leave early, there's a few people that had to leave early as well. If you'll recall, we said that to access all of your work, most of it's going to be electronic, and it will be in our learning management system known as MyTCC. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as Blackboard. Blackboard is the actual name for it. MyTCC is our version of it. At the university I attended, we had Blackboard as well, but it had a different name, just, to align with that particular school. I do recommend that when you are going into your assignments to try to use Google Chrome. That's the one that seems to be the most compatible with it. I don't believe Internet Explorer is supported by our system anymore. So when you're going in, remember, you go to MyTCC, so it's my.tccd.edu. And what you'll see is it'll put you here on this landing page. You'll be able to see, in my case, I've already logged in. And under my courses, it will show what your courses are. For me, it's showing the classes that I'm actually teaching. So I'm going to switch back over to do the morning class this time. So you'll click on the name of the course. Over here on the left side, you will see a menu that has a bunch of items. So let me make sure you guys can actually see that. So it says the name of the course. There's different tabs that you can click on. If for some reason you cannot see the tab and it looks like this when you go to the page, see this little arrow? You either click or touch that and it should expand back out. If you're on a mobile device, then this little bar right here, you see when I keep hovering my mouse over here, it might be kind of like a turquoise blue color, so that way you can just touch or click on that and it should expand the menu back out. So this part is announcements. So these are the announcements that I have for the class. I typically push your announcements out to you via email as well, so that way in case you're cleaning up your inbox and you lose your email, always come back to announcements, because chances are if it's something I sent out to the group, it's going to be here as well. So you'll see there's the information that I sent out like over a week ago regarding your reminder for class and how to contact me. Any other information, so there's the link to order the textbook. There's the textbook information right there. What to bring on the first day of class. So this would also apply to what you guys are going to bring coming up for the second day of the class. I also did a video for the very first day as an introduction and to tell you guys what to actually bring. So that way, I addressed a bunch of the questions that people had via email in that particular video. So make sure that you take a moment and watch the video. If the thumbnail right here doesn't work, then you can actually just go to the YouTube video. Yeah, if I can get it. Oh, you know what? I have this in edit mode. So that would probably explain why I can't click on it. There we go. So that way now my screen would behave more like one of your screens. And that would allow me to go to the video itself. Ta-da, there I am. Okay, so let's walk through some of these other tabs. This is also the link to access Microsoft Office 365. If you're having difficulty installing the product, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to contact the technical support office here, and they should be able to walk you through what you need to do. You'll see their contact information on the web advisor screen. So like if you need to go in and you have to reset your password, or you've been locked out of web advisor, their phone number and email and all that good stuff is there. Our course syllabus is located over here. It's also known as instructor course requirements, so that way you can see the information that I have for class, as well as our times, what you need to bring, so that's all here. This was also posted in WebAdvisor in advance several weeks ago, but I've updated it since then too. There's your breakdown of how your assignments will be graded. Here's important dates for the first 8 weeks. A breakdown of like what we're going to be doing, contact information, all that good stuff is here. You'll also see some addendums to the syllabus. So there's stop before you drop, and then the Title IX statement as well. So then that way you've got a couple of one-sheeters that are right here that will kind of explain what that information is. I included your textbook information here. So again, if you were not here on the first day of class, then you can see that information. So this was from one of my old classes, but the website will still kind of look the same. So that way it'll take you here, Pocket Guide to College Success. That's what our book looks like. This is what the price was at that particular time. That's why I was telling you guys, we don't really want to pay too much more than like $45. The book shouldn't be in that $60 range. And then I took a picture of the front cover and the back cover of the textbook. The ISBN is right here. So that way, if you're going to purchase the book from a third party, such as if you're buying it from a friend or if you're going to buy it from a third party seller online, then you have the exact information that you need to buy the book. Okay, over here, I also put the important dates. So I've got the weekend class, the dates for the weekend, and then also for the entire semester, there's an entire document that shows you what's coming up. You know, whether you're in a 16-week class, an 8-week class, or anything in between that, because we have a bunch going on. And that will load whenever it's ready to load. Come on, there it goes. Thinking about it. Ta-da! There you go. So there you go. There's all your dates. Over here, then you have the assignments checklist. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped some. So this is where you'll find your grades under My Grades, and then there's a list of your assignments. Tutor 24/7, that's an external link if you need to access tutoring after hours. So remember, we do have on-campus tutoring labs that you can visit on any of our TCC campuses, but you know, if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and you need help with something, then you can't access Tutor 24/7. I would plan on a 24-hour return. Some cases they might get back to you faster. Some cases it might be the next day. Your course evaluation will be here, so that way when it's time to evaluate the course, then you'll click on that link. So this is not the same as Rate My Professor. Rate My Professor, my supervisors do not see that. This is the one that they see. So that tells us information about the course, what's working, what we need to adjust a little bit, if there's anything we need to add, if there's anything we need to modify, all those different types of things. The Start Here menu. Now this is the class assignments thing. So this is the document I handed out on the first day of class that has a list of all of your assignments. So this one is a Word document as well. And then that way you can see what those upcoming assignments are. What this will also allow you to do is you can see what's coming. You can physically check off if you completed it. So if you have this printed, you can check it off with a pen or a pencil. If you're going to use the electronic version, then you can, make a note for yourself that it's done. You can see the due date and the time. You can see if it's actually been graded. So if there's something that you're still waiting on to be graded, or if for some reason you've turned in a bunch of stuff and you don't see any grades right there, I need to know about that, because that means there's some sort of technical glitch going on. Because you should be able to see your stuff pretty much immediately, especially if it's the quizzes. So there's one of the embedded links, and then there's the attachment. So this is just in case you lose like your written version of it, or you were absent the first day and you didn't get one. Under scholarships and grants, I know this was the #1 thing both classes asked for. So I included some links on how to apply for scholarships, and then these are some scholarship applications that are open right now. So these are some things that you can start working on to try to get some additional money for school. If you've got enough money for TCC, that's okay. Apply anyway and start putting that money in the bank for when your price tag goes up and you're going to these area universities. Like, don't knock $500, because that'll get you a set of books. So every little bit helps, and that's how you end up getting a full ride. It's $250 here, it's $500 here, it's $1,000 here, and you just keep hammering away at it, and that's how you get it. I also included a ESOL STXC exam dictionary that covers some of the different vocabulary and phrases that you might see on an exam. Right here. So it kind of breaks down what does all of the following except mean, all but one, what does that mean? Different things like that to help clarify some of the terminology or some of the words and phrases we might use on your test that you may or may not have heard before. So that's here. So again, this is for ESL, ESOL. ESL, English as a second language. ESOL, English for speakers of other languages. But anybody can access that. There's a link to email. And then here's your assignments. So if you recall, if you were there on the first day, I told you guys you had 4 due dates. That was it. I consolidated everything into 4 due dates. So you have September 8th, September 15th. This is your midterm exam, so it has its own folder, which is the 21st. You won't have anything due that week. Your job is to study for that exam. Then September 29th. And then finally that last week of class, this is going to be October 6th. So you should pretty much have everything turned in by October 6th. There might be a couple of in-class assignments left, but as far as homework, I should have all your homework on or before October 6th, like everything turned in. And that way, what that will allow you to do is go ahead and razor sharp focus and get ready for your final exam, which will be on the last day of class. The last day of class is going to be October 12th. This is a link to the final exam schedule. Actually, you know what? I did not attach the link. So I will put it in here when it is updated. And what that will do is that's going to show you the schedule. It doesn't normally show it to you for the second 8 weeks, the 8-week courses, but it will show it to you for the 16-week courses. So you'll know when you're supposed to be testing for your classes in December. Our class ends early, so ours isn't on that list. We just test on the last day. And then as you go into your folders, each folder will begin with a set of instructions. So what's the objective or the outcome that you should know how to do after completing the task at hand? You'll see a checklist that kind of tells you what we'll be doing for the week. So there's the My Plan activities, there's the chapters 1 to 11 and 13 quizzes, any other special instructions that are involved. There's your My Plan instructional document itself. And then that will open. Once that opens, that's going to be a more detailed breakdown of how to do the My Plan. But what I did include is I included the link and I included the license code or the access code so you can get in there and you can take the 4 assessments without having to, whip out your debit card or credit card and pay. Sorry, that's still loading. And that's going to be an external website that looks like this. What it will do is it will prompt you to create a free account if you have never taken the My Plan assessment. So remember, all the campuses use the same one. So if you've taken it elsewhere, then you just log in with your original account that you've created. But if you've never ever accessed the My Plan assessment, then what you'll do is you'll log into your existing account, and it will pull up your information. So see, there's the instructions right here. So it tells you what it is. Don't worry about the dates, but it does give you an estimate of about how long it takes you to complete. Remember I told you guys I did my assessment, and I did all 4 parts, and it took me about an hour, may have been a little bit longer, to get through all of the questions. Again, don't worry about these dates. These are the weekday classes, and this is from earlier this year. But the instructions themselves are actually still the same. So see, there's the slide that goes over what the instructions are. There's that license code again, and then you'll see the little documents. If the code's expired, then you'll go to the Career Services Department and request a new licensing code. And then see, there's your 4 assessments that you'll take. And that gives you kind of a sample of what part 1 looks like. This is for printing. So remember I said you guys don't have to print. You just email those to me. That's in a separate video. And we'll look through that, and it'll give you some additional information about what your results mean. And then that's the external site. In my case, I have an account already since I took the assessment. Ooh. Oh crap. There it goes. Okay, so for yours, this is where you see down here where it's like prompting you to pay and stuff like that. You don't have to do all that. These are the 4 assessments that you would take. And that's the purpose of having that access code or that license code. Now, in my case, it kept my reports right here. So these are the ones that I took: personality, interests, skills, and values. This is what you guys will be doing. Here. And then remember, each chapter is going to have a corresponding PowerPoint that goes with it. So it has a PowerPoint attachment that you can click on and you can open. And then that'll take a while. There's also a corresponding video. In this case, that goes with this one. There's some other ones I still need to record. There's your quizzes that are right here. So just remember with your quizzes, you can read the instructions right here. Remember, you can do each quiz twice. Once you click begin, your time starts. So you have 30 minutes to do it. So 30 minutes per attempt. There's 2 attempts. We keep the highest grade. So don't click on this until you're ready to do it. Make sure that you have read the chapter that goes along with the quiz first. Or at least you've gone through the PowerPoint and you have either the PowerPoint or the book or both in front of you. Because especially with the multiple choice quizzes, most of them are going to, not the multiple choice, the fill in the blank quizzes, it's going to be looking for a very specific word. So 1 blank, 1 word answer, 2 blank, 2 word answered. And it is going to look at the tenses, and, spelling does count. Okay, so you want to take your time and make sure that you're spelling the word correctly, okay? Now under there, then you've got your chapter 2, you got 11, and you got 13. So this is the stuff that is going to be due this Sunday before midnight. So I just want to reiterate, you can start on it now. Several of you guys already have, which is awesome. And then that way that'll allow you to work ahead. Then what you can do from there is, after you complete that, then you can just move on to the next folder. these two folders here correspond to everything we're doing before the midterm. So this covers 8 chapters. This is 1, 2, 11, 13. This is chapters 3, 4, 6, and 9. This is your midterm exam. This is your first test on September 21st. This is going to start with the second half of the course. So over here, you're going to have chapters 5, 7, 8, and 10 here. And then in that last folder, you'll see chapters 14 and 15. Chapter 12 will be on the test, but a quiz was never created for it, but you still need to be familiar with the content. So we will actually spend some time on that one in class to make sure that you guys are prepped for that material. And then your SMART goals and your scavenger hunt activities will all be completed here. And then part of the scavenger hunt has you download your degree audit. So there's instructions on how to access your degree audit, which is a list of your classes required for your respective degrees or certificates in your WebAdvisor account. Ideally, we also want you guys to go ahead and start getting ready to make your advising appointments either with me or one of the other academic advisors on any one of the campuses that you prefer. So that way we can start getting ready and getting your spring classes selected. So yeah, the catalog for the spring is probably going to go live within like the next 2 weeks. It's always in September. Priority registration typically opens around the week of October 17th. So we're talking about a week after your class ends. Registration opens up for spring. Then general registration typically opens around October 22nd. Your financial aid for the year 2020-2021 is going to open the week of October 1st. So there is a lot coming within the next month that you'll already have to start on for stuff that takes place next year. So that's why it's going to be really important that you save these dates, have them written down and save them in your phone, have them in 2 different places, because if you're like me, I've fried more than one phone, and if I've misplaced it or if I've broken it, then I need to have a backup so I know what I'm supposed to be doing at what time. Your exams are going to be here, like your exam information. There's a review, some sample questions, and the Scantron answer sheet that I passed around in class. So that's what that looks like. So it's the SC 882-E blue Scantron answer sheet. So it's blue. It's the one that looks just like this. And then for the final exam, the instructions are very similar. Same format, 25 questions, multiple choice, same type of answer sheet. The final exam schedule will be posted here. So for our class, since it's short, we won't be on there, but your 16-week courses that end in December, they're going to be on that schedule once that link is updated. And there's a second link for course evaluations. I just want to make sure that you guys see it. It's the same link as the up top. There's a link to make an appointment with the Reading and Writing Center. So remember, that's the first place we went. That's the place we went on the second half of the first day of class. So remember, you can do that in TutorTrack, or you can click this link and follow the instructions here. This is the information for printing. Here's information for our library and some advising related forms. And that is the gist of how you navigate around MyTCC for our particular class. Just one quick note too. On your landing page, it should look pretty similar to this if you're on a mobile device. The assignments that are programmed into MyTCC, so that's your quizzes, you'll probably receive reminders about those automatically if you have the Blackboard app installed on your phone or on your tablet. The external information, so like the My Plan, that stuff I had to create and actually upload to the computer, it probably will not remind you about that. So that's why you need to go by that checklist I gave you and manually put those dates in your phone. And I would have a written planner as well, just in case something happens to one of them, then you still have a backup. And then just remember, if you follow the folders it tells you in the day when stuff is due. It's like, do I have homework due this week? Yes, because you have it's September 8th. So remember, September 8th, 15th, skip down to September 29th, October 6th, last day of class, October 12th. And then that's a wrap, and we are out of here, and you guys move on to your next thing. Oh yeah, and then there's your tech support information in case you run into any technical issues with this system, with your email or MyTCC or anything like that. Don't forget, send your stuff from your school email because sometimes our firewall settings will block information that's coming from your personal email. So there'll be times that people have turned stuff in and we haven't received it. So it's got to be from your school email, okay? And you can access your school email link over here on the left under MyTCC email and Drive. You can open that link, and then of course your web advisor is the last link in this first box. So there's the email. And sorry, I think I had a text message that popped up from my hubby. And then here, this is your web advisor account. And all things TCC will be here, like as far as your transcripts, your final grades for the course, how you register for classes, your test scores, your financial aid information, your whole life is in here basically. Alrighty? So I'm going to end this video here, so feel free to reach out to me via email if you have any additional questions, and I will see you next class. Remember, email Cherie.Lopez at my.tccd.edu, and I'll talk to you guys soon.